business isn't in new clients, but in the ones you already have. Today, we're answering the question, how do I create more revenue from current clients? And we're answering that by talking about data-driven decisions for increasing revenue from lifetime value. It's all coming from this week's blog, key data to drive your small business revenue. And if you want to follow along, you can go to shaycannon.com/data. That is shaycannon.com/data. Again, we are ending this morning show in a little over 4 weeks. We only got about 4 weeks left. So I am going back through and making sure that we can use this morning show as a resource so that when you hit certain obstacles and certain stalls in your business and it's no longer growing, then you can come back to an episode of the morning show and relieve yourself of that problem, okay? And that obstacle. One of the things I saw as a gap is we talk about data-driven decisions, we talk about data, but I want to talk about the data you need to take the time to collect, review, and make decisions on, even if you don't look at all the data. You need to look at this data, okay? The first set of data that you need to look at, we talked about on Monday, and that was your marketing, but specifically as it relates to getting in new leads, cold leads, okay? So we talked about that, why it's important, the data that you need to be getting, and we even gave you a couple of ChatGPT prompts to help you to just really zoom in on that, okay? So if you need that information, go back to part 1, which was on Monday. Part 2 was about qualified leads, which are sales qualified leads, and the data you need to be looking at to make sure that the leads that you got coming in, they qualify to buy your offer. Okay, and so you got different data points for that. We talked about why it's important, and of course you got those chat GPT prompts to help you really specialize and personalize for your particular brand. So if you need that information, go back to part 2, which was on Tuesday. Yesterday was part 3, and we talked about sales conversion. What is the data related to you taking a lead and turning them into a sale? Okay, so you got those data points, you know why it's important, and I gave you the chat GPT prompts. We talked about more blog posts specifically for increasing sales. So if you need that information, go back to part 3 from yesterday, all right? Today, we are closing out our series on the data you need in your business to really move the needle for your business growth. You're supposed to be taking all kind of data, but this week, what we talked about is the data you need to take, even if you're not taking any other data, okay? Now, today what we're going to talk about is lifetime value, all right? Lifetime value. We want our clients to buy from us and to have a larger or higher lifetime value than just them purchasing one thing, okay? A lifetime value of a client, if it is higher, do you understand that you can pay more to acquire a new client? The higher the value of them investing in your service or in your offerings, the higher you can pay to acquire a lead. And that may allow you to have a higher paid ad budget, because it just makes sense. Like, you're not trying to make it be under $1 per lead, because you understand that paying more to get quality leads is going to have them invest way more in you than it would cost for you to acquire them as a lead in an ad. Okay, so that's one thing to look at. But let's go to the blog. Lifetime value. This is the stage where real revenue is raised, the part of the business that transforms momentum into stability. Lifetime value is about depth, not volume. It measures how well your business sustains relationships, delivers ongoing results, and remains relevant long after the first transaction. When clients stay, refer, and return, your revenue shifts from being unpredictable and bursts into being consistent as a flow, okay? This is the difference between chasing income and cultivating it. The longer a client's duration in your business paying you, the greater the return on every ounce of effort you've invested in attracting them to you. Prioritizing lifetime value turns a one-time win into long-term growth. creating a business that thrives not because it's always finding new clients, but because it's always deepening the impact with the ones you already have. Okay. Now, I don't know if I've explained lifetime value well enough. So I'm going to take a moment and make it really, really basic. Okay. The lifetime value of a client to you could be that they went through your offer ladder, which means they bought more than one offer that you had available to them. It could mean they referred more people to you. And so, therefore, the value of them being attached to your business is higher. It could mean they went away and came back. It could mean they became a retainer client rather than a one time client. It means they continue to spend money with you above and beyond paying you one time. Okay. So that is a more comprehensive understanding of what the lifetime value of a client could look like. All right. So, here on the morning show, we give you more than what's in the blog. So I am going to share my screen because y'all know I gave these very in-depth, here we go. These very in-depth strategies this week. So I want you to be able to put your eyeballs on it and follow along with me. Now, some past helpful blogs that when we talked about data is we have one where we talked about data for your offer, how to optimize your offer using data. And then I have one where we talked about basic data that you need about your lead funnel. That's your tofu, mofu, bofu. Okay. Now, for today, the lifetime value, I added two more blogs. Okay. I added one about client retention strategies. Okay, we did a whole week on that. I added another blog about elevating the client experience. I added a blog post on that, and we have done a week on that in the on the morning show. Okay, so retaining clients and providing a great client experience both add to the lifetime value of clients. So that's why I shared those past blogs. See how this morning show and these blogs are going to be a great reference and resource for you, no matter why you feel like your business is not growing or not yet at that first six figures. You should be able to go back through past episodes, past blog posts, and find the answer to whatever your problem is with your business growth when we end this morning show next month. Okay. Now, let's get into our strategies. Top 10 strategies for data-driven decisions for increasing client lifetime value. Number one, what is the lifetime value currently? Like, we need to calculate what is the average lifetime value of the clients that you have right now. So it means what is the total revenue earned from a single client throughout their relationship with you in your business. Okay. So success looks like lifetime value consistently increasing through renewals and upsells and multi-offer engagements. Maybe even think like events, things like that, things where they can come to you for more of a transformation. All right. Unsuccessful looks like a flat or declining lifetime value despite steady new client acquisition. Okay. Because having new clients that you can sell to is one way to make money, but it's not the only way. We want to be making money in all ways. So the other way is to find ways to serve the clients that you have more so that they pay you again and again. Okay. So a way that you can be more successful is and get a higher lifetime value is stop relying on just the bringing in of new people. Put some of your focus on servicing the people that you have well, having conversations and all of this so that you understand how you can keep servicing them. So if your offer gets them to one transformation, what's the transformation after that? And can you provide that? Or what if you're getting people that's coming to you for this one transformation, but they're not even set up to get that transformation, then maybe there needs to be an offer ahead of that one that gets them ready for transformation. But how can you service clients more deeply so that they're investing in themselves through you more to increase their transformation? All right. Number two, revenue per client segment. Okay. Revenue per client segment. Now, just like we wanted to know what was your revenue per offer. Okay. We want to know what is the lifetime value of clients that came in under certain offers, right? So, for example, if I say my offer ladder is the paid membership, which focuses on your productivity and goal achievement within your business, and then The next level is you getting the course to learn how to do your own blueprint, or I do your blueprint. And then the top might be, the fractional COO services, where I work in your business to get you everything that you need to get as a transformation. So I might find that the lifetime value of my clients that come in on a fractional COO side, the amount of money they spend with me is higher, right? Because I have clients, I keep them no less than 3 years, and they're paying thousands per month for 3 years. So that's where the lifetime value is the highest. But then there may be people that come in and want the blueprint, right? And I recognize that most people that get the blueprint don't make the time to follow the blueprint, which is how we got the paid membership, right? And so there's a lot of people that got the blueprint that are now in the paid membership. And so that's increasing their lifetime value to the business. Okay. It's getting them a transformation. It's valuable for them. I'm not just trying to get people to pay me more money. I'm trying to see how I can service you better. So, what offer are clients coming in on at that is giving them a higher lifetime value than other offers? We need to look at that. So success means higher tier or ideal fit clients deliver the best lifetime value with minimum churn. And I just told you, my fractional COO clients, less churn, more money. Unsuccess looks like lower tier or mismatched clients that drain your capacity, but they don't stay with you long term or go up the offer ladder. Okay. And so how can we solve that problem? Well, not all clients are equal. So you can either double down on those high ticket clients and stay there, or you find a way to cut that churn on the lower people and see what's allowing them to detach and not continue up your offer ladder. Okay. Data set number 3, client retention rate. Okay. Client retention rate. The percentage of clients who renew or continue using your service. Now, we're going to talk about churn and we're going to talk about retention. Retention is when there is this long-term contract or proposal and they do not renew it. Okay. They do not continue to use your service. That is what we mean by retention. So success looks like clients naturally stay through multiple cycles and repeat bookings, and it feels seamless. Okay. Unsuccessful is a high turnover rate. They might go one contract cycle or they don't even last the entire contract cycle. Okay. So how you can help that is make sure that you're meeting needs all around the transformation. People that you have long term end up needing more than just the big transformation. For example, my fractional COO clients, I don't just manage the business and manage their teams and manage crisis and manage change. I also have to manage them. Right. And that is nowhere in the quote unquote job description. But if I don't help them keep their sanity, right, then they're not going to be in existence in this business long enough to continue to have a team for me to manage and a business for me to manage. Okay. So think about things around these long-term clients at these higher rates. What else can we be providing to help them be more stable within our service? Number 4, repeat purchase rate. Okay. This is more so your lower ticket stuff. Right. So the percentage of clients who make multiple purchases or sign up for additional services. So success looks like a strong pattern of people coming back time and time again. Now, a great example of this would be people who have taken my workshops, my intensives, right? We have people that have not missed one. They have not missed one, right? So there must be value in there because they come time and time again for these workshops that give value. So that's success looks like they're returning to get ongoing value in these different offers. So non-success looks like one and done, right? Somebody buy one thing and they done. They don't repeat any kind of purchase. They buy one thing and they don't ever come back. Okay. So what can we do with them? Well, we need to we need to kind of figure out, are we giving the outcome that we promised, or are we attracting the right people in the first place. It's kind of what we kind of need to be looking at. But the main thing is, are you giving consistent outcomes? And what is your relationship to them? Okay. Churn. Let's talk about churn. So this is the percentage of clients who stop buying, cancel, or go inactive. This is more so not necessarily a long-term service. This is more like memberships or long-term courses and things like that. So churn could be you got a course that's attached to a 12-month access or something, and so they might have 12 payments, but the churn is they stop before they feel like their whole 12 months, or they're supposed to stay in the membership for a length of time and they don't make it, they drop off. Okay, so that is the difference between the churn and the retention. Okay, so when it's successful, there's a low rate of people dropping off. Unsuccessful, you frequently have drop-offs. And so how we try to help with that is we highlight where your purpose and in their experience with your purpose and the service or the value, where is it not meeting up? Why are they dropping off? Okay, so we have to figure out what that is. People are always excited when they first join something, but then we realize that when people start dropping off, what do we start looking at? Well, this is a natural segue to the next data set, and that is client progress tracking. Okay, client progress tracking. What does it mean? The percentage of clients whose transformation or results are tracked and communicated back to them. When you have people in courses, when you have people that are on retainer, when you have people that are in a membership, you should be regurgitating to them the value that they're getting with progress reports. Okay, progress reports. I think last week, Shawana Kennedy Media, we talked about this with her clients about like you should get a snapshot of where they are in those social media before you start, and keep telling them how they're growing, right? Because what you're doing is reminding them that the value that they invested in, they're getting it. Because what can happen is sometimes clients can get value. Now they get used to that value and they think it's just going to continue on without you. And you're going to have to keep reminding them, hey, this is the value we're getting you. Okay. And without us, you would not be getting this value. And guess what? Let me remind you of where you started and where you are now. Okay. You started at the bottom and now you're here. Okay. But another thing about client progress tracking is if you have a membership, like those 12-month courses, access, and memberships was something that's supposed to happen every month, you need to be tracking the progress of how your people are engaging. Because the people who don't engage, the people who don't go through the course, the people who don't show up to the meetings, they're going to drop off. They're going to become a part of your churn. If somebody is paying for something and they're not using it, they're at some point going to want to stop paying for it. Okay, so churn. This is a great answer to the churn. So this is why this data point is so important. So the percentage of clients whose transformation attract, we want to see them be visible. We want them to know the progress that they're getting. That's what success looks like. Non-success looks like they're not improving, or they are, but they don't know it, or they're taking it for granted, or they're not taking advantage of what you're giving them that is valuable. Okay, so a tip to help them to keep paying and see the value again is keep showing them their results. Or if they're not participating to get the results, remind them of those pain points, right? In my membership, I have a weekly thing that I do to remind them of why they're in our membership and some of the tools they should be using. And it's called It Works If You Work It. I feel like anybody that has any kind of monthly membership, any kind of 12-month course, you should have a hashtag It Works If You Work It weekly message. Remind these people why they're there, and remind them that you keep experiencing this pain because you're not showing up to relieve the pain, but the tools are here. Okay, so do that. Okay, number 7, reactivation rate. Some people do have to go, right? Sometimes it's things happening in life. Sometimes it's things happening with, their cash flow fluctuation or whatever. But if you lose somebody, what is the rate of people coming back, of reactivating whatever it was that they stopped or paused. Okay. So the percentage of former clients who return after an inactive period. So success looks like past clients re-engaging very easily because they trust the value and the consistency that you provide. So they do come back. Unsuccessful is once they leave, they're gone for good. We don't want that, right? So how we can help that is you can make reactivation cheaper, okay? Then because you understand it took you less to bring them back than it would take you to invest in getting a new person. Okay. So you might can offer them a cheaper rate or offer them a bonus or something like that to get them to come back. But stay on top, do things to stay top of mind with them until they come back. Right. I recently created a program for my client where I had an offboarding meeting with one of her clients that was getting a service, right? A monthly service. And she's offboarding because right now she's having some revenue problems, right? Her business is not making as much money, so she can't pay our team to do what we usually do for her, right? So what I did was on the spot in that offboarding meeting, I created a retention type of a reactivation type of fee. I said, well, I tell you what, we're about to raise our rates. Okay. And since you want to come back because you got good service from us, I suggest you get on our 6-month program where you can pay like $97 a month. And if you come back by the end of that 6 months, you can come before. But if you come back by the end, you can come back to us at the same rate. And she was like, oh, yeah, I would love to do that. And I thought about it right there in the meeting. So, reactivation. How can you make sure people come back? All right. And then I set up a monthly email sequence where every month we're giving her kind of a tip to, help her make more money. But then we're also reminding her that, you're 5 months out, you know what I'm saying? But you can come back to us early, that type of thing. So we're doing like countdown emails up to the 6 months, but it's giving her value to help her with the problem of why she left, remind her how long she got during this 6-month period, and reminding her that she can come back early. Okay. Because basically what we're doing is we know it's hard with you doing it all by yourself. We can get the gang back together and we can all do it for you, but this is something you could do in the meantime. By the way, you got 5 more months. All right. Number 8, referral rate. Referral rate. Y'all know what that is. That's kind of self-explanatory. The percentage of existing clients who send new leads or business your way. Now, this is clients sending you new people, not just anybody referring. This is specific to clients, okay? Because a client that helps you make more money, guess what? Their lifetime value is increased because they helped you make more money. So all the time, the value of a client is not just the money they're paying you, but hell, if they're a top referral source for your business, they're still helping you to make money. So that value still increases because of your relationship with them. All right. So a steady stream of new clients introduced by satisfied clients. Unsuccessful is few or no referrals, even from clients with great results. So a tip to help you with that is a quiet referral channel means clients may love you privately, but not talking about you publicly. So you need to ask them why, or you need to be more vocal about asking for referrals. Okay. So ask them, do you even have a legit structured referral program? Okay. So think about those things. Number 9, the data point is contract expansion rate. Okay. How many people that are on the contract add more services to it or upscale their service? Okay. So it could be extend the contract or upgrade the contract. Okay. So success looks like they naturally evolve into higher tiers or add-on services. Unsuccessful is they just stay right where they are and probably eventually drop off. So how do we help that? What we try to do is we try to give them a great picture of where they are. Okay. Show them the results that they've gotten, but tell them they can get more results if they invest in this or if they go up to this level. Okay. So you got to kind of tell them, if you want more, you're going to have to get on the level that actually gives you more. This level is going to keep giving you what it gives you, which has been a success. But if you want more, you're going to have to invest in yourself more. Okay. Number 10, the data point is client feedback utilization rate. Okay. What does it mean? It means the percentage of the client feedback that you have gotten, how much of it do you implement to make improvements? Okay. Because success looks like they feel like they're building and making this thing better with you because you asked them to give you feedback or they gave you feedback. And now are you using it? Do they see it? Do they see it happening, or do they still kind of either have that complaint or wish they had that value? All right. So unsuccessful, of course, is they keep telling you what to make it better and you don't do nothing to make it better. So of course you need to look at that stuff. Consider when you're going to be able to implement some of that stuff. It doesn't mean that you implement all of it at once. It might not even mean that you implement all of it, because some people, their thoughts on you doing better is not very logical. So we might can't do those things, but maybe we can do an element of that thing. So just think about it. All right. So those are the 10. So we got the 2 prompts that we've had all week, which is meant for you to use each of these strategies one at a time in the prompt. So 1 is to see what is your status with that data. And then the follow-up one is for you to get recommendations to increase the success of the decision for that data. Now, today I added another prompt here, okay? Because I want you to be able to generally put in, what is your clarity statement? Who is your ideal client? And for the offer, ask ChatGPT to recommend different things to increase the lifetime value of clients for that offer, period. Okay. And let's see what it comes up with. All right. So this is not taking the strategies that I gave you. In fact, if you want to, you can say, hey, I already got these strategies. What more strategies do you have for me based on what my offer really is, who my ideal client really is, and who I am to them and what I do for them? Okay. So that's just to help you to get more recommendations for getting more money and more transformation from every client. All right. So let's go to the question of the day. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment so I can grab this question. It's 2 questions like it's been all week. And I'm going to drop it in studio. And I'm going to drop it over here on the YouTube side. Cool. Okay, so the first question is, what are you currently doing to increase the lifetime value of your clients, if anything? And the second question is, which of the 10 strategies do you feel will increase your client's lifetime value in ways not currently in practice right now? We're going to start with Dr. Tachi, but first I'm going to go back through the data points. I'm not going to add in all the extra, but I am going to share my screen again so that you can see all the extra as I go through the recap. So let me share my screen again. Okay, boom. The first data point you need to be taking to make sure that you are have what you need for data-driven decisions for increasing client lifetime value. Okay. First one is, what is your average client lifetime value? We don't know if we're increasing if we don't know what the baseline is. So what is the baseline of that actual stat? Okay. Number 2, what is the revenue per client segment, or the different types of clients that you have for the different types of offers? For example, in my business, I have fractional COO service clients. I have her first 6 figures coaching clients, and I'm about to release a whole nother brand. And so those are different clients. And so those are different client segments. So how does that look in your business? And what is the lifetime value of each of those segments of those types of clients? Number 3, client retention rate. This is from your long-term contracts. What is the rate of you retaining them? How long do they stay with you? Number 4, repeat purchase rate. These is mostly for those people that come and get, your smaller, affordable, tiny offers, and they might buy more than one. If you were a product-based business, it would be how many times they buy that product. Okay. 5, your churn rate. This is more so for your memberships and your monthly payment type of people, where they have some kind of monthly access, and it could be a limited amount of payments, but who is dropping off before they're supposed to drop off? Okay, that's your churn rate. Number 6, client progress tracking rate. Okay. How are you tracking these people? At what point are they, if you got a course that's 12 modules, what module by average are they dropping off? Or are they participating and engaging in? Okay, we need to know this kind of stuff because we need to get them engaged. So we need to know this if they're not engaged. If you have a service, you need to be showing people how far their business is coming, okay, how far their business is going, especially in relation to when they first started with you. So we need to be checking that stuff. What is the tracking looking like? Number 7, reactivation. Those that went away, how many came back? Number 8, referral rate, specifically from clients, past and present. What is our referral rate? How many clients do we have that actually refer people to us, or how many past clients actually refer people to us? We need to know this. Number 9, contract expansion rate. This could be adding more time to the contract. This could be adding more services to the contract. This could be upgrading the contract in some way. Number 10, last but not least, what is your rate of using the actual client feedback that you get? First of all, are you getting client feedback? And second of all, are you implementing it? And at what rate are you implementing that feedback? All right. So let's go to our question of the day for Dr. Tachi. First, what are you currently doing to increase your lifetime value of your clients? And second of all, from the strategy shared today, which one do you think will increase your client's lifetime value in ways that currently aren't in practice?
Okay, so there's several things I'm working on. So
Okay.
let me take the one that I'm working on right now as me with
Okay.
clients for video, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So right now the referral rate is
Mm-hmm.
actually very good. With the I have the one main client because I don't really want others, but I keep getting referrals for video work or whatever, which is a good thing. So that actually is working out quite well. Um, in terms of what I need to do, I think now this will be for when I actually, begin the courses and things. Um, looking at churn rate.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be a good one. Um, and I feel like along with that, you have to attach the ongoing resolution to that, which is looking at the progress, tracking
Yes,
progress. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes. And then really quickly,
Mhm.
also, which is the one that you said in terms of, I can't remember where it was, but looking at, are you the one to take them to the next level?
That is going to be um I feel
Sorry, I
like
forgot to
that,
write it down.
yeah, I don't know if that was one of our strategies or was that just in what I said about in the precursor. Do you feel like it's one of the numbered strategies?
I thought it was, but perhaps I'm getting it wrong. I just heard it. So,
So it might have been how I was saying how you get client lifetime value to
okay,
increase.
okay,
But number 9 is contract expansion rate. So you do have to have something there for them to, you know what I'm saying, to have more of to increase the lifetime value. So what I gave as an example of how you could is whatever your offer is, what do they need to be better prepared for that offer? That could be a separate offer that people have that now you've given them something else to buy that's going to get them better results from this offer, right? And
okay.
then there could be, okay, well, what's the next transformation after this one? And can you offer something for that?
Yes, and that too.
Yeah. So you kind of do have a natural progression of a offer ladder. It's kind of like, buy this book to learn how to have better video, right? Get in this course to learn more about having video, and then let me run your video so that you have good video. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it could be that
Okay.
very easily.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, what are you currently doing to increase the lifetime value of a client? And also, which of the from the 10 strategies today do you feel will increase your client's lifetime value in ways not currently in practice?
Currently, I am not doing anything. Um, if anything, when I did my product-based business, I focused on like return customers. Um, what is that? Um, Repeat purchase rate. Um,
Mhm.
looked at the lifetime value. Um, I looked at the different. Well, since it was one business, that don't really count. But yeah, so those were the things that I was doing. Right now I have to segment them into what they want because right now um it's like the way that they come in and the way they come in is inconsistent.
Mhm.
Uh so I'm still working on that.
Okay. Yeah. But it sounds like what I heard was at one time you only worried about getting new customers, but you do understand the value of how do you deeply serve the clients that you already have. Um, you understand that now. So just to make that more plain to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, think about all the things you have to do to introduce yourself to new people, go through a period of like, know, and trust, and finally get them to buy. Like, think about even if you're not running paid ads, but especially if you're running paid ads or you're paying to be in a group or you're paying for email blasts or whatever, even if you're not paying money, you're putting time into that stuff, right? So whether it's money or time, you spend less of that with people who already like, know, and trust you and have
Yeah.
already bought something from you and have already gotten a result. If you find a way to serve them more, it's easier to sell them into something than to sell somebody you just met. It takes longer, it's not as easy, and it takes more resources. And so
Yeah.
that's why we want to look at the people who are already our clients and see how we can serve them more deeply. And then that is what increases our lifetime value of a client. So thank you for
Yeah,
that,
and
Dr.
that makes sense, and that's what I was trying to do, but I don't think I was doing a good job of it. With the
Yeah.
emails and all that stuff, offering them stuff, discounts. I wasn't doing a good job of it, creating a community. All that, I wasn't doing a good job of it because obviously, like, they weren't. They would stay for a good bit of time, like they buy probably like 4 or 5 products, and then they would just leave. So I have to figure out how to do that better.
Yeah. And sometimes that is, giving them an incentive to, and to come together in a group meeting and you just start asking and getting feedback from people,
Yeah.
right? Every time somebody leaves the paid membership, I have a conversation with them about why. Why are you leaving? But some of it is I can kind of predict what it is that is why they're leaving, and some of it I just want to make sure that what I'm thinking is right, because that is a clue of what something I either need to pay attention to, or maybe I need to do some type of value add or some type of adding of more something to the course to keep, or to the, I'm sorry, to the membership to keep people in there. It just depends, right? So yeah, some of that is don't be afraid to ask people why they're leaving. Like, let's ask. So yeah. Or let's ask people what do they feel like they need next. Or let's ask them, hey, what do you feel like would have got you more ready for this or would have helped you to get more value out of this, right? Let's ask all of that. Let's do that. Cool beans. Thank you, Dr. LaFera. Let's go to Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media. The first thing is, what are you currently doing to increase the lifetime value of a client, if anything? Also, which of the 10 strategies from today do you feel will increase your client's lifetime value in ways not currently in practice?
Okay, great question as
Feel free to
always.
come on camera.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
Dang
ahead.
it. Dang it. One of the things that I do, but I do like the offboarding that you added. So it's a twofold.
Mhm.
The ongoing retention package. I like the way you said that, because even with people that's offboarding, like you say, due to a shift in their finances, I like that. That's one of the things that I have done, but I like how you said it with having a monthly price point and giving it an expiration date, and then even the engagement leading up to the months of when that would end. So that is something that I do, but I haven't never offered it the way you said it, in the conversation today. One of the things that we do also is to continue to educate our clients and move towards, because of the coaching and strategy that we do, it kind of assists with the ladder of moving them from even social media management to potential video production of podcasts or live stream, depending on how they do it. They come in by way of cross service integration for us. So that's some of the stuff that we do and have done for a few of our clients, which allow us to retain them longer. And yeah, I like when you said even earlier about the 3 year, because I was looking at it and it made me go through my mind of the shortest and the longest stint of any client that we currently have. So I was thinking about that. And then of course that thinking about the relationship and community. And I was listening at Dr. LaFera when she was talking about the group. One of the things that have been for me when I think about even Facebook, some of the challenges is because, of course, my clients typically are too busy to be in an online group, because that's why they don't have time to do that. That's been one of the things that have been a challenge for me, trying to create a community online. So I know I said a bit of both and mixed in the answer with, I mixed them in, so I hope it made sense.
It did. And with that, I have a group type of thing. Uh Go do some research. Like, you're in groups. What keeps you in certain groups, right? Start there. Have a conversation with ChatGPT. This is what I'm doing. These are some of the things that keep me in groups. Help me have more people stay in my group or be more active and engaging in my groups. And sometimes it takes you changing some stuff up more often to keep their interest, right? For example, we know that the morning show is ending, but the morning show is a part of our free business mastermind group. So I have to replace the morning show with something to keep the attention and keep the value in the group, even though I haven't defined what that is. I understand it's not going to be as often as Monday through Thursday for 3 years. I'm not doing that anymore. But like, what has to come in and give, different types of value? I look at, the things that anything that's group related, I look at the list of the value that I give, and I think about what's working, what's not working, what do I need to take out that I'm spending time on. But it's, for example, in our free business mastermind group, 2 months ago, I stopped the collab live. That was excruciating, to be talking for 30 minutes straight and not enough people coming on and repeating myself over and over. And I didn't feel like it was getting enough people collaborating for me to go through that pain every month, right? So now I'm looking at, okay, we're taking the morning show away. We took that away. What are we going to start implementing in their place? So sometimes it's just looking at what's working and what's not working, taking away what's not working, big up what is working, and then let's add some more things that we think could be the new things to work. Keeping it fresh, basically, right? It's no different than dating. Like, if you them same three positions get kind of crazy. So yeah, maybe we need to do something else. But
Yes,
yeah, so we
look, I
just got to
will have
find a
to.
way to breathe new life into it, and maybe we decide that not necessarily every month we're going to do something different, but maybe every quarter we bring in fresh stuff and drop off old stuff. When ChatGPT gives you this whole list of new things, don't throw all the new things out there all together. Take one, say we're going to implement this one thing this month. And then maybe we'll implement another one this month. And for the next 6 months, we've implemented new things. And then when half the year is gone, we look at it and we say, okay, well, these things didn't work. We're going to take them away. We're going to keep these. Now, the list was 12 things. So now we can start with the, incorporating new stuff. So yeah, just keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. And Dr. LaFera, I definitely want you to use the prompts from today to kind of help you to narrow down some specifics on some recommendations for your particular brands and offers. And that'll help you. Whereas you said, you hadn't done a good job, that'll help you get some fresh ideas on, different ways you can increase that client lifetime value. Cool beans. All right. So this week, we've talked about it, the data, the key data that you need to be collecting, reviewing, and making decisions on. Because I know most of you aren't even, you got insights and stuff going, but you don't ever go over there looking at stuff. You're not collecting it in a way that you can look at it and then make decisions on it. So we talked about marketing to get in new leads and the data you need to look at. We talked about when you get these leads in, who are the sales qualified leads and how can we increase our number of sales qualified leads so that we have more leads actually buying our offers. And then we talked about sales conversion. How do we actually, once we have sales qualified leads, actually get the sale? What is that data? And then today, once we get the sale, how can we continue to give them a transformation and therefore they continue to invest in their transformation through us? Okay. So with that said, how impactful was this week? Do you have any questions about this data? I would love to know how you're going to start incorporating this data. Tell me about something that you're going to start doing every week, something you're going to start doing every month, and maybe what is something you're going to look at every quarter. I'll start with Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media.
Definitely staying on top of what the client is doing, pretty much like we talked about. My weeks are getting mixed up, but like the show and tell, showing them where they are and what is happening, but also not only showing them, but showing that proof online to show that ROI, that what that increased, even if it's the increased engagement, because some people just want to know that they are being seen, because if they don't know you, they don't know you. And if they don't know you, they're definitely not going to use your services. So definitely staying on top of that, going out of this year, and of course, going into the next year. I do have to say that's one thought is, for me, hanging with you for a few years now, I understand we do have to sunset the morning show. I'm really gonna have to see what the heck I'm gonna have to replace my morning show time with, because for me, it honestly has been a day jump starter to help my engine and juices flowing. So for the record, since the weeks are winding up, I have to say I'm excited for you. I love Shay Cannon and her brand, what all of those things are. And yeah, yeah. I'm one of the people that was in the audience to be like, oh. So all of the emojis, all the things, but I'm proud of you. I'm excited for what is to come, because we know if you're sunsetting this, then that means God is about to open up something else that's really going to help stretch us even more. So I appreciate you, all you listeners. I hope you are following her and telling people about her and sharing her information. And I'm Shawana Kennedy with Kennedy Media, and I rest the mic.
Well, thank you for the answer and the commercials. We appreciate you. All right, Dr. LaFera. How are you? What is some of this? So now that you know about all this data we've talked about this week that you definitely should be looking at, what are some of the things you're going to break down to look at daily, weekly, monthly, maybe quarterly? And what do you feel like the impact is going to be on your business? Uh-oh, do we need to come back to Dr. LaFera? I might have threw y'all off because y'all know I don't usually do another round robin. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. What you think?
I'm here. I didn't know you called me.
What? Okay, well, did you hear the question?
No.
The question was, now that you know all this data from this week that is very important that you get, even if you're not getting all the data that you should, you need to get the data we talked about this week. And I said, from the data that we talked about, what is some of the data you're going to do weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually? What does that look like for you with some of this data?
Well, looks like I need so I'm gonna take your notes. I'm gonna go back to the notes that you give us, and I'm going to put down like a plan. Whenever you give us stuff, I put down like, okay, this is what I can do with that. Like this is how my business can do that. And so I'm gonna go back and look at that, and also take what you gave us and put it into AI, because that's quicker, and say, okay, help me to come up with a plan to put this into place. Within the shortest period of time, what do I need to do? Give me the structure,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna do that. Um, I'm gonna do it with this week. I did it with the first part of this week, but I'm gonna do it with the rest of the week, and I've also done it with some of the other, like last week I did it. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. All right, Dr. Tachi, how are you going to incorporate all of this data that all of a sudden you like, oh, this is the key data. It's still a lot of data. How are you going to incorporate it weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually? What is this going to look like for your implementation?
Well, first of all, I must echo what Shawana said. 100%. It is going to be a major hole left in the mornings. I'm sure we can fill it with something else, but do we want to fill it with something else that is not you? That is the thing. But you've given us actually a great foundation, beyond foundation, right? But a very strong foundation and very clear goals and objectives for where we should be, irrespective of our fields, of our particular areas. So thank you so much for that. And again, we can't wait to see what you come up with next. I will say, like, the whole data-driven decisions thing is so important because, like you said, data is so much, and sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like looking at it. But definitely to look at the things with, like, what you were talking about on Monday. Was it Monday where we were talking about data-driven decisions? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about things like cost per reach for paid efforts and things like that. I
Yep.
really need to make sure I'm looking at that very well because it's easy to do that and see some results, but are they the proper results? So I really need to spend some time to go through and see my efforts. And thank you for what you sent me. So thank you for that.
No problem. No problem. I love this. I love this. Because I don't want to just give y'all, instruction on what to do. I do want you guys to start thinking about how am I going to use that. When it comes to stuff like when you have to make time to do something over and over again, I want you to be looking at how am I going to incorporate this into my calendar. Because what we know is what I always say, you're gonna get the business that you calendar, right? So you don't get the life that you want, you get the life that you calendar, but that includes your business. So all the things that you need to do, you're not gonna get them done if you don't find a place on your calendar to put them. So I'm glad to hear that y'all are thinking about ideas on how to solidify these things on your calendar because you understand the value of getting these things done and the importance to your business growth. So I love that. Before we move on, does anybody have any questions about anything that we discussed this week? Data-driven decisions. Okay, great. Well, don't forget to save the date for Saturday, October 25th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It is our fall boot camp intensive. It is the Foo Fighters 2.0, marketing to fund your freedom. And really what we're going to plan out is the workflow that's going to help you to pay for your life design. All right. And so this has been another great week. It really has. It's getting sadder and sadder every week because we're getting closer and closer to the close of the morning show. As you see, our in-studio members are filling the clothes coming in. I think we got about 4 weeks left. But this has been the Her First Six Figures Morning Show, which is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and Brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. If you want to know more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, plus get links to resources like how to join the free business mastermind group or how to get the strategies from the show notes from today or any recent past episodes, go to the description below. If you have not already, please do me a favor and give us a thumbs up, like the episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything, because even though the morning show is going away, more value is coming on this YouTube channel and you want to be subscribed, okay? Also, this week's videos, today's episode was part of a 4-week video series. So check out the other videos so you get all the information about the key data you should be doing. And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day.